Hello and welcome back to Doctor Who Season Review, and today we'll be reviewing Season 45. First up, The Great War. Now, this is the start of a season that I like to call Dark Eyes. Now, this is a good season. It is a good season. So, The Great War, is it good or is it bad? It's good, I think. I think it's got some interesting characters. I like the introduction to Molly, the nurse. I think that's great. I think the Daleks have been written very religiously, in a way that they've been written really good. Overall, the Great War is a good, solid story for the 8th Doctor. It's very solid, and it's the first story in which he wears his leather jacket outfit. And not his Edwardian outfit that he wore for his first 7 seasons. So overall, this story is pretty decent. Next, we have Fugitives. I really like Fugitives. I think it's a very decent Doctor Who story. I like the Doctor and Molly in this, and I like the whole plot of this adventure anyway. I think the plot is very well handled, and it really delves into what the 8th Doctor is turning into. You know, he knows that by this, when his seventh incarnation knew the Time War was gonna happen at some point in time. But now that we're the 8th Doctor, he feels like it's really gonna happen. Like, he knows it's gonna happen at some point now, because this is the Doctor that it happens to. Overall, Fugitives is pretty decent. Next, we've got Tangled Web. Now, this story features a villain played by Toby Jones. Now, is Toby Jones scary? Yes, I actually think he is quite scary, actually. Yeah, he's very menacing in this story, and not only that, he literally treats Molly like, he hurts her. He hurts her like God knows what. He hurts her like crazy, and the Doctor's like, Doctor does not even know what to do or how to save her. All in all, the Tangled Web, sorry, is pretty a decent story, if I say so myself. I really enjoyed this one. Next, we got X and the Daleks. Now, it's a decent story, I guess. It's alright. The Daleks are alright in this. The Doctor, Molly are pretty decent in this story. It's good. It's got a good plot, and it's also got a good, decent story behind it that I think it's a worthy addition to the 8th Doctor's lineup. You know, adventures, you know. And this is what he's going through. It doesn't explicitly say why he changed his outfit. That's because it does in the first story, then I don't know what I'm doing. But overall, this story in itself is pretty good. It just continues the Doctor story in a more respectful way, rather than just going to, oh yeah, he did it, oh look at this, all, you know, all happy jubbly and that. It's not happy jubbly anymore, it's dark stuff now. Next, we've got The Traitor. Now, this is a pretty decent story, I think. It's pretty decent. I mean, I like the Doctor, I like Molly, and I like the whole Daleks thing. What is there else to say about this story except that it's really good? Go try it out. It's a brilliant story. It's amazing. It's a great Dalek story. Honestly, it is perfection. Next, we've got The White Room. Now, it's a decent It's a decent Doctor Who story, I guess. It's alright. I mean, the plot's kind of pointless and the characters are kind of stupid and dumb. But overall, I think the Doctor and Molly are great characters in their own rights. So essentially, the plot and the whole plot of the story is decent enough to be good. Overall, it's alright. Next, we've got Time's Horizon. This story introduces Liv. I think Liv is okay, I guess. I mean, she's alright. I mean, I wouldn't say she's brilliant, but for an 8th Doctor companion who's only featuring in this season now, it's pretty decent, I guess. Pretty decent. Overall, Time's Horizon is it's an okay Doctor Who story, I guess. Next, we've got Eyes of the Master. Now, it introduces us to a new Master, Alex McQueen's interpretation of the character. And his portrayal of the Master is pretty decent. He's funny, he's quirky, he's hilarious, and he is sinister. So, Alex McQueen, you're brilliant, mate. You're doing a good job. Now, the plot, well, I don't think there is a plot to the story, unfortunately. However, saying that, it is a decent story with a decent plot in that. I really do enjoy the story of this episode, and I wish to think that it's pretty good and pretty decent, to be honest. Next, we've got The Death of Hope. Now, this is a pretty decent Doctor Who story, I guess. It features the Doctor, Molly, and the Master, and overall, it's a pretty decent Doctor Who story, I guess. It's an alright story, and it's pretty good, I guess. Pretty good. Next, we've got The Reviled. Now, don't get me wrong, I like Liv, but now this is a big but. The story of this episode is just terrible. It's just god awful. Nothing happens. I was so bored, I didn't even bother finishing it. So, in my conclusive analysis of this episode was shite. And we'll say no more on the matter. Next, we've got Master Plan. Now, this is a pretty decent Doctor Who story. I really like the Master. I really like Alex McQueen's performance as the Master. I like the competition between the Doctor and the Master in this. I think it's pretty acted really well. It shows the bond of the characters. Like, you know that they've been through hell together and all that. And that they got history and all this stuff. And that, you know, the Doctor didn't realise the Master's back and he thought he died in the TV movie back in 1996, you know. Overall, the Master Plan is a solid Master story, and it's purely focused on the Master, which is pretty decent. Next, we've got Rule of the Eminence. Now, where do I put my finger on this? This story's pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. This story bored the shit out of me. I like Molly as a character. I like the Doctor as a character. I like the Master in this. But apart from that, that is it. The story itself is terrible and dreadful and awful. Just like Reviled. Never again. Never again. Never again. Next, we've got a Life in the Day. Now, the story's pretty shit. Most of Liv's stories are absolutely crap and awful. Not gonna lie, I prefer the Molly stuff, but some of the Liv stuff is pretty decent. This ain't one of them. Next, we've got the monster of Montmartre. Whatever that means. This story is pretty awful. I'm not gonna lie, I don't like this one. I don't like Liv. I really don't like her stories. They're pretty average, and they all feel the same. You know, bandwagon of shit molded onto a disc. Overall, this story is pretty awful. Don't like it. Next, we've got Master of the Daleks. Now, this story is pretty average and really good. I really like this one. Overall, this story is pretty decent. I like the fact that the whole plot is good and doesn't really drive for anything, to be honest. I think the story and plot are decent. Overall, I think this is a good second to last story for the season. Pretty good. And finally, for this season, we have Eye of Darkness, where the Doctor faces the Eminence, and Molly departs by sacrificing herself for the Doctor, and the Doctor is left with Liv. This finale to a great season. It's amazing. It's a really good finale. I really like the Eminence in this. I think he's menacing. I think he's sinister. I think he's dangerous as all hell. And honestly, it is the best Doctor Who story you will ever experience in your life. God bless Molly. Farewell. Rest in peace. And this is Molly's actual final story. And she does sacrifice herself for the Doctor. So, join me next time for season 46. Don't forget to subscribe to the official Spider-Man Project 2004 YouTube channel.